Hey guys, and welcome to something a little bit different. So today I'll be doing a review about a game called 8-Bit Boy. 8-Bit Boy is actually an indie game released by a company called Awesome Blade. It was released last year in the 6th of May, so it's currently only £2.79 on Steam, making a good buy for your gameplay. So essentially what it is, it's an 8-bit game, a bit like Mario, or Mario, however you want to say it. But what it makes different is that it's an old game with new mechanics and new graphics, meaning it actually looks like a newer modern game with older gameplay, if you understand what I'm saying. So unlike it being a Mario clone, it's actually essentially a Mario parody, because, well, there's many different Mario clones, but this is just like, it's different. It has different gameplay. Well, it has the same gameplay essentially, but it has different styles of the gameplay, if you understand what I mean. So it feels more of a puzzle action ragey game than Mario feels of an adventure game. So what this means is you're actually paying for a newer, upgraded-ish Mario game where it has more levels and it's slightly different, and you can play it on a modern PC, and obviously the frames are amazing. Also, it has better graphics. One of the sad things that I found about this game is that it tries too hard to replicate the physique of older games. You know, if the way that older games played was like you had a controller and you felt like you were roaming around a small, restricted area, but it felt big and amazing and adventurous. And those games were played when you were hopefully younger, because the games were aimed at younger people. However, this game feels more of it's slightly aimed at older people, but it feels like more confined and trapped, because the actual, like, scale of the map isn't as big as the old Mario games, and the old Mario games had like portals and whatever, those weird drainy pipey things where you could go to other levels, which this game doesn't have. Another thing is that the enemies on this are just uninspired. It's literally just a few mean birds, snakes, and some bats with less of combat than, I don't know, the old Mario. Because the old Mario, you could get power-ups that allowed you to actually attack the enemy, and I think there was points where they retaliated. But on this, they just sort of like have set waypoints where they move forwards and backwards. They act more for obstruction than they are a actual enemy, which essentially makes the game grinding and very difficult to play to, especially when you're new to the game and you're not very good at 8-bit games, because 8-bit games are generally pretty damn hard. So this game, well, the story of it isn't that much interesting actually. I don't think the story is the thing that you would just get this game about. If I was to say the worst part of the game would, well, actually I think the second worst part would be the story. So I think the first worst thing about the story is the reading. There is a buttload of reading in this game. Like at the start, the amount of it that you just read is just, no. It's just, why do you need it? You can either have narration or you don't have narration. Reading is annoying. Unless you like reading, I suggest you do not get this game for the story. Okay? So the actual story of the game is just plain weird, and it's unappealing essentially. What it is that a dude who is 32, he's unemployed because he is unable to get a job after his exams. So mystically he gets sucked into this console 8-bit game where he has to overcome obstacles to get him out of unemployment. I don't know how this helps playing a video game gets you out of unemployment, because the last time I checked, playing video games actually makes you lose a job. Right, so he needs to do this, and through this game he resolves adult issues like unemployment and, as it says here, feeling inadequate. How? Another bad point I can think of is it's the raging, pretty much. Oh god, this is supposed to be reviews and it's supposed to have balanced ideas. Okay. Right, so this game is very, very ragey. The first thing that would make you rage is the lack of general power-ups. Now, the power-ups are there in the game, you have to find them, but they are spread out so much that if you lose one, it's fairly difficult to find the next one. And the power-ups are continued throughout the levels, so if you complete the level with a red power-up, the next level you have the red power-up until you instantly get hit by a character in the next level, which annoys it just annoys you that you just can't play the game. So that you end up grinding the game. You grind just to play the game. And other than that, the other thing that annoys me is the lack of waypoints. I understand that it's supposed to be like an 8-bit game, going back to the older style where you have no waypoints, you have to go from, from one place to another, but no, why? If you want to retain audience, you have to have waypoints. It's a necessity of a game to have waypoints. You lose patience because of waypoints, and because of the lack of waypoints, there is a lot of dying. There is so much dying in this game that no. But the opposite of dying is the instant restart. It has 3 lives, like any old retro game would have, meaning if you die, you have another life. But when you lose that life, you lose your power-ups as well, which I don't like, but it instantly reloads. It has a little bit of a weird character flashy thing that it does. Then, so you die, reload, starting again. It's that quick, right? But then once you've lasted 3 life, you have to start the whole of the level again, which doesn't make any sense to me, because it's exactly the same as dying once. No. Why? But yeah. It's like, you have to learn how to play the game. You have to sit there, purposely learn how to play the game. So there's parts where you cannot do without constantly redoing the game, and it's annoying. But there is points where you can get around things, like the maps, like the second proper level it's kind of vast. There's a way at the top, then there's a way at the bottom. The bottom way is slightly harder, but you avoid all the enemies. Meaning, if you don't want to get hit by the enemies, you have to sort of like jump down, past a load of spikes, and avoid the enemies, right? But you have to sort of like figure out how to get down there, which I think is a good idea, because then you have bigger maps, meaning people can learn different part of the maps. Yeah. Also to include with that is the mechanics of the game. Some of the mechanics of the game you don't know about. You just don't know about until you read the manual. So like, I completed the whole of the game without knowing about the something. I think it was the there is actually a waypoint system in this, but you just don't know about it, and it's in places where there shouldn't be waypoints. It's like literally right from the start there is a waypoint. You can get a free waypoint. Then I think there is more lives and other stuff. I wouldn't know because I haven't actually came across them, but they're there. But one thing that I really like about this game is the music. The background music when you start the game it's alright, but then you listen to it for a while, you get into it. Then when you start raging, it gets really annoying. I don't know why, but I like that about the game. The music is good. If you like music in a game, I advise you get this game, especially 8-bit music. This is a good music that goes along with the game. Yeah, that's pretty much my opinion review. I don't know what you call it, but it's more of a, I'll call it a review for the sake of it. Yeah, I think if you were to get this game, I would get this game if it was free to play. I think the £2.79 is worth it, but it's just sometimes you just think in the game that you wasted your money and time. But other than that, if you really want, if you don't like a story, if you like an 8-bit game which has been upgraded to look better, and you're alright with sound, get this game. Just get this game. But other than that, if you like none of the things which I just said, and you really despise everything, don't get this game. Just don't. But yeah, I'll post a link of it in the description down below. It's a Steam link. It goes straight to the thing. I don't have a written review, so you guys can go like do something. But other than that, hope you enjoy this, guys. Something different for you today, and hurrah!